If you've played golf for any length of time, you'll know how frustrating it is when you don't make consistent contact. And for the new golfers out there, it can drive you absolutely crazy. Today I'm going to discuss contact and how this lead shoulder in your golf swing can totally transform your ball striking. So how can this lead shoulder transform your ball striking, and what role does it play in the golf swing? Well, let's keep this really simple. Let's think about the bottom of this swing arc being a circle. So we've got the club traveling on this arc down to the ball and then out the other side. And if we think about the lead shoulder, this is the center of that circle. The lead shoulder, the lead arm and the shaft form the widest point of the arc, or the radius. And if you look at the grid that I've drawn on the ground, you'll see how this line here that actually sits opposite my lead foot is really just representing my lead shoulder, where the center of the arc would happen. And in golf, if you want to be successful, you take that center and you place it behind the ball. So you create this angle, this angled radius to the ground. And that simple step, that simple tip creates or builds in an element of down into the stroke. Most golfers set up like that, but not all of them manage to retain that geometry throughout the swing. You'll know from having watched previous videos how the best golfers have the low point of their swing after the ball, and the poorest golfers have it furthest back. And this lead shoulder can hold the secret to that. We build in this geometry we discussed already at setup, and the key here is that when you come back to hit the ball, the lead shoulder is back in that same place or slightly further forward in order to conserve the geometry that we built in at setup. If my lead shoulder is back to this same point or slightly further forwards, I can continue to make sure I'm hitting down on the ball. Doing it wrong, we'll find that this lead shoulder at setup looks very different to this lead shoulder at impact. And once this starts moving away from the target, you move this entire geometry back behind the ball. The bottom of the swing now happens before the ball. That equals fat shots, thin shots, top shots, and a whole lot of pain. Guys, if you're watching this video and enjoying it, I have a small request from myself and the rest of the GOLFTEC Southeast Asia team. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It's our goal to make this channel the best resource for golf on YouTube. And with your help, we'll get there. Now go and enjoy the rest of the video. In order to avoid this unwanted movement away from the target, you're going to want to set up a training station whereby you have a constraint placed just to the side of your head. In this case, I've set up a noodle station. I've got this pool noodle sitting just to the side of my right ear. And any movement, any unwanted movement in this direction would result in me striking the noodle. So the trick here is to make a backswing where my head stays away from the noodle. And then as I start to swing down, I move further from the noodle. You'll see how this lead shoulder starts to move towards the target again. The poorest golfers are going to sit back, that lead shoulder is going to lift up, and you'll find yourself moving back and striking the noodle. So make some practice swings, stay away from the noodle, backswing, downswing, follow through, and then when you've done that a few times and you feel confident, drop a ball in there and go ahead and hit one. And for those of you that want to try this straight away and you're not at the driving range right now, you don't even need to be at the driving range. You don't even need a club. You're going to get rid of that. You're going to stand up. You're going to put your arms across your chest and stand next to something in your house. Let's say a door frame. Open up the door and just put the door to the side of your head and make this pivot in your backswing where you stay away from the door frame, away from the door, and then move away as you transition. Keep your head to the left. Move the shoulder down and towards the target to create that sway, that desired sway motion that you need to move your low point further forwards. So I've explained what to do, I've shown you how to do it. Now let's show you how to see it. And for those of you that are filming your golf swing, which is quite a reminder, you should all be filming your golf swing, make sure you've downloaded the latest version of the GOLFTEC app. There's a new swing capture feature which you can use with line drawing tools. You can take a look at the stuff I'm about to show you and implement it on your smartphone or your tablet. Looking at the screen, I've drawn a very simple circle on the lead shoulder in both of these swings. One of these swings is going to demonstrate the correct way to do this, and the other one is going to show you how not to do it. So take that simple circle on the lead shoulder at setup, and then we'll take a look where that lead shoulder is at impact. So we've got setup and we've got impact. And if I draw that in a slightly different color, you'll notice how the lead shoulder has transported slightly towards the target, which would be considered standard. That's what you want to do. On the right-hand side, I'm going to cut to impact. You're going to see how the lead shoulder has actually moved backwards away from the target. That would be consistent with the highest handicap golfers who struggle the most with making contact. And here at GOLFTEC, we don't just show you, we measure what we're doing. So the shoulder sway would be the metric that our OptiMotion system is using to measure how the upper body is moving. So that zero movement, or that zero number at setup, will be replaced at impact by a number that is 2 inches towards the target. And that green color suggests it falls within the tour average. This is what the best golfers do. Take a look at the right-hand picture. We also have a zero number at setup. When we get to impact, that lead shoulder is 1 inch away from the target. There's a 3-inch difference in the movement of the upper body there. That is going to have a significant impact on where the low point of the swing happens. If you swing like the guy on the right, you're going to hit the ground behind the ball, you're going to top the ball, and you're really going to struggle to make consistent contact. So if you're looking to make better contact, take your video, film yourself from front on, have a look at where that lead shoulder is at position 1 at setup, and take a look again where it is at impact. That lead shoulder needs to be at least as far forward, if not slightly further forward than it was at the start. Guys, thanks for watching. I must say it's great to be back. It's been a long time and I really appreciate your support. If you've got any comments, don't forget to get down into that section. Ask me your questions. I'll get back to as many of you as I can. For those of you that aren't taking lessons, make sure you're setting up some sort of training station when you practice. It's not going to help if you just go to the range and whack as many balls as you can. Use the drill, use the constraints, make sure you're making the specific changes we've talked about today. Today's lesson focused on the upper body and how the shoulders move in the golf swing. If you want to learn the secret to how the hip sway works in the golf swing, go and check out this video next, which I made, which discusses exactly that topic and will further enhance your improved ball striking.